Hello everyone, welcome to the study of economics. Myself Janisha, lecturer of economics, St. Joseph PU College, Vijaypur. Last episode, we completed our bridge course. Students, today in this episode, we are going to discuss about first PUC economics syllabus, information about NCERT textbooks, pattern of examination, as well as department question bank. After watching this complete video, you can get idea about economic subject in PUC first. Because in your SSLC, you had few concepts regarding this subject. In PUC first and PUC second, you can get elaborate subject knowledge and it will help to you further more study and also for competitive exams. Then, okay students, now we'll move on our syllabus content. In first PUC, according to PU department, you are having two NCERT textbooks in economics. One is part A, that is statistics for economics. Another one part B, that is Indian economic development. According to this, your syllabus will be distributed as part A and part B separately. Now, we will discuss briefly regarding the syllabus of part A, statistics for economics. So in this part A, you have total 9 chapters. So in these chapters, we'll discuss shortly one by one. Chapter number 1, that is Introduction to Economics. Here you already learned some brief concepts in your bridge course. For example, meaning of economics, definition of economics, importance of economics, nature and scope of economics. Here also you can learn about these things along with meaning of statistics, importance of statistics, as well as importance of statistics in economics and some application knowledge you can learn in this chapter. And regarding chapter number 2, that is collection of data. So in this chapter, you can learn, study about how to collect the statistical data. So this is what chapter number 2. And in chapter number 3, that is organization of data. Here in this chapter, you are going to learn about how to organize the collected statistical data as well as what are the types of data. And in chapter number 4, presentation of data. In this chapter, you can deal what are the methods of presenting the data. And in chapter number 5, measures of central tendency, and chapter number 6, measures of dispersion, and chapter number 7, that is correlation. Here we can able to study what are the statistical application, numerical application, okay, that we can use and get the exact result. So that is direct methods are there, indirect methods are there. So various statistical methods we can use, that is in this 3 chapters. And chapter number 8, that is index number. In this chapter, we learn index numbers, methods and measuring of index number as well as the types of index number. And the chapter number 9, this is last chapter from part A, that is use of statistical tools. In this chapter here, we learn about what are the types of statistical tools, and what are the uses of statistical tools, and how we can apply these statistical tools in economics also. So that we can discuss, or that we can study in this chapter number 9. So this is what the brief short on regarding the part A syllabus. Next, we'll move on syllabus content of part B. So that is Indian economic development. So part B, you know that already separately, that is Indian economic development. In this, we'll do a brief short note on each chapters. So that is chapter number 1, Indian economy on the eve of independence. So in this chapter, you are going to study about Indian economy, that is before the independence, the condition of our Indian economy before the independence. Okay, that we can discuss while taking the class in elaborately. And in chapter number 2, Indian economy from 1950 to 1990. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss about Indian economy condition after the independence, that is between the time period 1950 to 1990. And in chapter number 3, liberalization, privatization and globalization. So these 3 LPG policies we can apply in economy. So how or what are the effect or what are the impact of this LPG system, so as well as the features of this LPG systems, so that we can discuss in this chapter. And chapter number 4, poverty. So in the poverty chapter, we are going to discuss about the causes of poverty, consequences of poverty, and how it adverse effect on our economic system. So all these things we can learn in this chapter. And chapter number 5, human capital formation in India. So this chapter deals with that the resources of human capital and what is the role of human capital in India. So everything we can learn in this chapter. And chapter number 6, rural development. So rural development, here we are able to discuss about meaning of rural development, what are the measures we can take for the upliftment of rural areas. So all the contents we can discuss in this chapter. And chapter number 7, employment, growth, informalization and other issues. So in this chapter, we are going to deal with, that is employment opportunities, next growth of our economic system, as well as informalization and communication sector in our economic system, as well as relating to other issues, so that we can study in this chapter. Next, chapter number 8, infrastructure. In this chapter, we'll deal with, that is Indian infrastructure, condition of infrastructure, as well as what are the infrastructure in different states. So all these things we can learn in this chapter number 8. And in chapter number 9, that is environment and sustainable development. So this chapter is very interesting chapter, and here we learn about how to conserve the resources and how to utilize that resources for future. That means sustainable development, meaning of sustainable development, how to preserve the resources. So the everything we can learn in this chapter. From this part B, last chapter number 10, comparative development experiences of India and its neighbors. That means here in this chapter we are learn about our neighboring countries economic condition, means the economic relationship between India and also our neighboring countries like Pakistan and China. So the economic relationship between Pakistan, China and India. So these things we can learn in this chapter number 10. So these are all a brief note about the part B syllabus. EU Department Economics Question Bank. Then what are the features of question bank. So that we can discuss here. As you know that first PUC economics NCERT textbooks consist two. One is statistics for economics. This is part A. Another one is Indian economic development. This is part B. Both are NCERT textbooks. The questions in the question bank are framed for all the chapters on the basis of these two books. So that the question bank, so it will prepared so on the basis of these two textbooks. Now we'll see what are the features of question bank. First one, multiple choice questions. Here each question carries 1 marks, so MCQ questions. Second one, fill in the blanks questions. Here each question carries again 1 marks. Next, match the following. Here it got 5 marks. Next, questions which are to be answered in a word or sentence, that means 1 marks questions. Here also it carries 1 marks each. Next, questions which are to be answered in 4 sentences, that means each question carries 2 marks. Next, questions which are to be answered in about 12 sentences, that means each question carries 4 marks. Questions which are to be answered in about 20 sentences, so each question carries 6 marks. And also last one, project oriented questions. Here each question carries 5 marks. So these are the features of question bank, and according to this question bank, test, midterm and annual examination question papers also prepared. So this point you remember. Okay, so why I am introduced this features of question bank? Because this question bank which helps you to refer or prepare the test, midterm as well as the annual examination pattern. Next, exam pattern of economics. Maximum marks will be 100, timing 3 hours 15 minutes, and questions from both the part A and part B. First one, MCQ questions. Here it each carries 1 marks. Fill in the blanks, again 1 marks. Match the following, also 1 marks. 1 word questions, that means 1 marks questions. Next, 4 sentence questions, that is for 2 marks, and 12 sentence questions, that is for 4 marks, and 20 sentence questions, that is for 6 marks. And last, project oriented questions. So this is 5 marks. So this is what the exam pattern of economics according to the PU department. So according to this, your annual question paper will be prepared. So better you have to prepare or you have to refer the question bank. According to that question bank, the question paper will be prepared. Okay, so MCQ questions, fill in the blanks, match the following, 1 marks question, 2 marks questions, 4 marks questions, and 6 marks question along with project oriented questions. This is what the original pattern of economics PUC first year. Now let me see the model question paper from the department. See, according to the Department of PU Education, so the model question paper will be set up like this. So the economics subject code is 22. So here only the timing will be 3 hours 15 minutes. Marks will be 100. So the frame of question paper, it is also divided into part A, part B, part C, part D, part E. So part A, which consists from both the section of A and B, that is MCQ, fill in the blanks, match the following questions as well as the 1 marks questions. And in part B, you can observe that 2 marks questions. So this up to 17 to 22 questions. So this is relating to part A, as well as 23 to 29. This is from part B. So this is what 2 marks question. And in part C, here 4 marks questions from part A section, and again 4 marks questions from part B section separately. From part D, from 41 to 43 questions. So this is 6 marks questions from part A section, and 44 to 46, this is from part B section, 6 marks. As well as last part E. From the part E, that is project oriented question. So this is from both the part A section and part B section. So each carries 5 marks. So this is what the question paper pattern. Next, for coming episode, we are going with chapter number 1 from part A, Statistics for Economics, so that we can see in next episode. Thank you.